Hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today's topic is about the Ideogram and how a high-end tool will be used for generating various types of images. Let's begin by exploring the basics of the Ideogram. It is specifically designed to produce visually impressive images. It enables the creation of a wide range of imaginative concepts. Regarding Ideogram, a sign-in is required. However, before proceeding with the sign-in, notice the advanced nature of this tool. There is a feature labeled People, where various characters can be created. These resemble actual individuals. When looking at any one of these characters, such as this example, many other character options are also available. This section also explains how a specific prompt can be used to instantly generate an image. Navigating to the home page reveals a variety of models. The initial section includes both public and private creations. Additionally, several aspect ratio options can be customized as needed. This reflects the level of customization that can be applied directly at any stage. Various models are available for use. For instance, the latest version is the 3.0 model, followed by the March 26 release, the Ideogram 2.0, and the 2A version. Additionally, there is a very basic model included. Each model also comes with a render speed option. If faster results are needed, the turbo mode can be selected. Other available options include default and quality modes. The same number of credits is consumed regardless of the chosen mode. Each image generation process uses 1 credit. To produce an image here, the generation process can be initiated instantly. Now comes the feature known as Magic Prompt. What exactly is Magic Prompt? That will be clarified here. When reviewing any image, there are typically 2 types of prompts visible. One is a simple prompt provided by the user. The other, called the Magic Prompt, is a refined and enhanced version of that same initial input commonly used in key elements or during creative processes. Let's explore that in more detail. Head over to the Home section. Here, the Magic Prompt feature can be set to auto mode or it can be manually activated. Once enabled, it allows prompt generation here. Next is the styling option. Styling refers to the format in which the image should be created. The available options will now be listed. There is a creative format as well as a cartoonish or animated style. A realistic style is also available. All of these styles must be considered. Additional options include photo, illustration, 3D render, cinematic, typography, and several others. Each comes with its own distinct features. Now shifting to the original Ideogram version. The Ideogram is being used in this case due to its inclusion of certain features that are not easily found in other versions. Beyond style selection, there is also the ability to add references. In addition to references, a style code can also be applied. To clarify, a style code is an 8-digit identifier taken from any randomly generated image, allowing that visual style to be reused consistently. How does this function? Suppose while scrolling down, a particular style is selected, one that appears more refined. This style can then be referenced directly within the tool. At the bottom of the image, a specific style code is provided. Each image comes with its own unique style code. That code can be copied, and once copied, it may be used to apply the exact visual style to any image being created. Simply by pasting the code, that style is now applied. It can also be removed if needed. In addition to this, color options are available. These determine the image's overall color palette. For instance, an amber-themed palette may be selected. A fresh-toned palette is also an option. Additionally, custom palettes can be created. Custom palettes can be composed of any preferred colors. For example, green may be selected, followed by blue, and then red. Typically, 2 to 3 color palettes are combined here for visual balance. And within those palettes, a creation can be designed directly here. It also supports production and similar processes. Any image generated will follow the exact colors defined in the selected palette. For instance, observe this image. It has a light tone and uses only 3 shades. These include magenta, sky blue, and a soft mountain hue. In a similar way, another image displays a black and white contrast of a turtle. These color settings can be applied as needed. Moving forward, another option relates to how the title will be used. Previously, there was only one model available to the creator. In that model, a title could be placed onto a grid layout. If placing it on a grid is not preferred, then it can be arranged in vertical bricks, horizontal format, columns, or rows. This title function is especially useful when aiming to streamline content for sharing on social media platforms. The next aspect involves two key concepts that hold significant importance. The first one is the seed number. What is a seed number? It refers to a value used to initiate or generate pseudo-random numbers. This value helps ensure that the sequence of random numbers generated can be replicated. When more seed values are used during image generation, the chances of clerical inconsistencies in the image decrease. This directly results in a clearer and more accurate image. Utilizing this approach helps maintain clarity and precision in the output. Conversely, reducing the number of seeds may lead to a less concise result. The next concept is the negative prompt. What does a negative prompt do? Here's an example for better understanding. Suppose a basic prompt is provided to generate an image. The AI tool interprets and enhances that prompt. In addition, there's the option to include a negative prompt. What exactly is a negative prompt? It specifies elements that should not appear in the image. For instance, in a particular image, it may be necessary to exclude anything in the background. In this case, the goal might be to include a shadow beneath the turtle or to incorporate a logo as part of the imagery. It may also be necessary to avoid using full color, aiming instead for a black and white style. Any elements that are not desired are simply added into the negative prompt. These points cover how the fundamental settings operate. Consider any image generation tool. Take DALL-E, for instance. Besides DALL-E, there's also Imagen. The difference with Imagen is that it offers fewer multifunctional options. The image generation engine here is provided by Google DeepMind. Some functionalities appear to be exclusive to the Imagen system. Within this environment, the generated images are viewable, along with the number of likes they receive. At a community level, creations are shared collectively. Content uploaded on this level can be set as either public or private, an option not typically offered within the free version. As a result of this setup, any content that was being created would consistently appear at regular intervals. The community can engage with it either by liking it or by using it as a reference. The model currently in use will now be demonstrated. The subscription active at the moment is the Plus version. There are 3 available plans suited for business and personal needs. Among them, the basic plan costs $8 per month. This includes a low number of credits, around 400 priority credits each month. It also offers 100 slow generations, allows queuing of multiple generations, and provides access to edit tools and the canvas. A quality export option is included as well. Additional credits can be added. 100 credits can be purchased for $4. If more credits are needed, for example to generate additional content, they can be added in this way. Since the credit limit is quite restricted, entering a value such as 7, like in this case, may result in the system estimating a usage of 10,050 credits. If only 2 credits are needed, what happens is this. For example, if 300 credits are available, the system will allocate the required amount accordingly. There are 2 additional points to mention. As soon as an image is generated, since this tool operates with a high level of accessibility and a broad user base, there is often a queue of users awaiting image production. This leads to priority-based generation, meaning there might be a waiting period. If using the free version instead of the premium one, the experience differs. As mentioned earlier, without the premium tool, the system defaults to free mode. In this mode, fewer resources are provided efficiently, making it unsuitable for structured or continuous tasks. Different operation modes can be adjusted here. Additionally, there is an available API connection. If needed, the Ideogram API can also be utilized. This allows access to developer mode, where API keys can be created easily. However, it does require a separate subscription. With that setup complete, the next major point is how to incorporate personalized details during the image generation process. To explain this, here's a simple example. The latest motto will be selected for this demonstration. The magic prompt feature will be used as well. The existing design will be cleared first. Either the auto or realistic style will be selected. Here, the realistic design will be applied. Next, the color palette will be set to auto. The goal is to evaluate the capabilities of this tool. Now, a basic prompt will be used to test its response. The prompt will be create an image of a girl, a close-up shot. For this demonstration, 2 creations will be generated. These 2 examples are intended to show how the tool performs with a single prompt. All relevant options have been applied in this setup. After activating the magic prompt, the generation process begins automatically. There may be a short delay. Soon after, the image will be created. Once the image is available, what options become accessible next? The available options include reference management. These references can be viewed either through the style or description. Alongside that, editing options are available. There are 3 modes in the editing section. The image can be modified using the editor, or it can be opened in the canvas. Background-related features are also included, such as the Replace Background option. Let's try that now. This option will be selected, and Replace Background will be applied. For this feature, a prompt will be given, such as changing the background to a room. A single creation will be selected here to keep the process simple and avoid unnecessary complexity. The tool will then shift the greenery to one side of the image. While shifting the background, it will also maintain overall visual consistency. An image will be generated as a result of this operation. This image will be reviewed to see if the result has been properly applied. As observed, the same image has been used and the background has been successfully changed. This is quite a useful feature. Another option available here is Remove Background, which instantly eliminates the background from the image. The image can also be downloaded directly. Once downloaded, it can be integrated into other design projects seamlessly. Next, the image can be opened in the canvas. Within the canvas, the Magic Fill feature is available. The concept of canvas will be explained shortly. Editing in the editor refers to making direct modifications to the image itself. Any required adjustments can be applied within the image. Placement tools are visible here. If cropping is needed, it can be done. Beyond cropping, other editing functions are available. For example, if a cutout version is required, it can be created instantly and reused as needed. There are also options for color shading, although this feature is less critical unless a specific design is being developed. For more comprehensive work, such as producing a complete mockup, these tools play a valuable role in the process. There is also a profile photo option, which is a user-friendly addition. At this point, most of the key options have been discussed. As demonstrated, only a single prompt was provided. Now, let's return to the initial creation for further review. That Peries concluded Dakotas to ensure prayers ant around. One of the most to pro programs, and a castle of pushes for enter, that hoped is de-interpreted this specific prompt and then generated an enhanced version using Magic Prompt. The modified version included details like soft yellow, shallow depth of field, and portrait photograph of a young girl. It added more descriptive elements automatically. The ideogram model used for this creation is also displayed. In addition, the image resolution is shown. The seed value used during generation is visible as well, and it's set at a very high range, into the millions. This indicates the uniqueness of the generation. Details such as the creation date are also provided. The image can be downloaded in 2 formats, JPEG and PNG. Both formats are available for use. If sharing is desired, there is an option to share it directly. If the image needs to be removed or changed from public to private, those controls are available too. Currently, this image is private, and it can be kept under individual control. However, if it's made public, it no longer carries copyright claims. Once public, it becomes copyright-free. Now there is a clear understanding of how each feature functions within the image generation process. Even when exploring its use cases, there are several possibilities. These include generating scenic visuals, creating portraits of different individuals, and designing product-related imagery. For instance, consider this example image. Suppose this one has been added, and there's a need to remix it. The background can be removed instantly. As shown, the background will be removed directly, allowing the image to be repurposed as a product visual. It can then be downloaded and used right away. All of these features are closely connected to the overall utility of the tool. In terms of copyright or usage claims, there are no restrictions preventing image use. This makes it possible to create personalized wallpaper collections and upload different custom images. All of these are AI-generated visuals. Even in this sample image, there's a high level of clarity. Looking at the prompt, it's quite basic. Image of clear sky, night without moon. All of these images were generated using the Magic Prompt feature and saved for review. This clearly shows how scenic visuals can be created effectively. Beyond that, poster creation is also supported. These posters can be used for social media marketing or other similar purposes. Relevant images can be added directly for such applications. If there's a need to design logos, this tool is an excellent option. Even for t-shirt designs, it proves highly effective. For example, if mockups are needed for apparel, various t-shirt design options are available here. Suppose a specific design is selected. The background of that design can be removed instantly. Once the background is cleared, the resulting image can be applied across multiple platforms. This image can be used on various websites, including services like Printify. On Printify, a complete merchandise store can be created. That store can be linked to different brands or initiatives. It also provides an opportunity to sell customized merchandise. These designs are fully usable for that purpose, making this approach not only functional, but also a practical idea worth considering. The next feature to explore is the canvas. Now, when it comes to canvas, there's more than just a single function. It goes beyond basic visuals. Within the canvas, many advanced features are available. It's not limited solely to images. Here, it's also possible to design user interfaces. For instance, by entering a prompt like website banner for AI Crafter's blog, the canvas can be used to generate design concepts. Clicking the Generate button initiates the process. 4 different banner styles will be created. Before generation, the magic prompt will automatically activate and enhance the original input. As soon as the design begins processing, the layout complexity will be added in real time. This process results in a format similar to a Figma layout. Suppose one particular design stands out, say this one. It may appear more suitable. Other options may not be preferred, so they can be skipped. Work will continue using the selected version only. If any adjustments are needed within this design, they can be applied directly. As seen here, with just a single click, several edit options are instantly available. If there's a need to retry or regenerate, that can also be done effortlessly. We can also try it again. Here's the rotation available. That can be applied. Now there are additional choices. The Generate feature is present. It has already been displayed. The Magic Fill feature is included. What does Magic Fill actually do? Simply draw over the areas of the image intended for modification. Let's take an example. Suppose this section needs to be changed. This specific part has now been selected. Once the selection is made, moving to the next step will prompt a new action. In the Magic Fill feature, the input can be something like, I want better text. Upon clicking Magic Fill, what happens next is important. The particular section that has been selected, this portion of the website, will be edited. The remaining areas of the image will stay exactly as they are. This is a unique capability not found in most AI tools. Such features are specifically available in this tool. It allows flexible usage, even if needed repeatedly. It is clear that the tool has now generated the next portion. The result is visible. If this outcome isn't satisfactory, the tool provides another suggestion under Want Better. Meanwhile, the rest of the design stays completely unchanged. This indicates something important. Consistency can be maintained, and with that consistency, it becomes possible to build complete tutorials, design layouts, or even generate sources of inspiration. For example, if this section is removed and replaced with a prompt like Inspiration for mobile UI for an app used by doctors, additional options will be provided. The tool can take the lead in suggesting ideas. The output can then be imported into Figma or other platforms, as there are various builders available. For instance, consider using builder.io. By navigating there, the image created here can be loaded. At this point, the image is displayed. Suppose this particular image seems more suitable. It can be selected. Alternatively, if another image appears more appropriate, that image can be chosen instead. This provides a variety of elements in a more refined format. All of these can be removed. Here is the main design layout. What can be done now is to view it in detail. It includes features like appointments, messages, and similar components, which are well integrated. This tool can then be accessed. Within this tool, the screenshot is available. It can be copied and taken to the builder. Upon opening the builder, the image captured earlier can be attached. Now, suppose this image needs to be added. What can be done here is to directly paste the design. On top of this design, a command can be given to generate the code for the app. Once this app is selected, a fully functional application will be generated. Very quickly, with the same web view, the initialization of the application will be visible. The application is created. Shortly afterward, the application will be ready to use. It can then be utilized for additional tasks. This process is readily accessible. There is also the option to include images in it. This can be downloaded. There are several other alternatives available for use. This is part of the Ideogram platform, which allows direct interaction. Designs can be created through this interaction. Upon accessing the batch feature, it states, save time and create images in bulk using batch generation. A spreadsheet containing the prompts can be uploaded, and the final images will be ready upon return. What does this mean exactly? Here's a breakdown. Suppose the batch generation example is downloaded from here. Rather than repeating the same process manually, writing a prompt, generating, then repeating, we take a different approach. The actual method involves coming to this section. Prompts can be entered directly here. For example, with these existing prompts, more can be added. These prompts are required. Along with them, certain details need to be specified. The aspect ratio for each prompt must be defined. Additionally, it's important to indicate whether the magic prompt feature is enabled or disabled. When a CSV is uploaded in this format using the batch option, This upload feature handles the process. What it does is generate bulk or batch outputs efficiently. Even if 20, 30, or 40 prompts are included in a single Excel file, the tool will generate 40 images in a short time. To access this capability, an upgrade to the Pro version is required. This feature is not available in the basic access level. An additional cost is involved for enabling this functionality. The reason for this is that it's typically not needed for individual or smaller scale use. It is mainly intended for advanced production scenarios, such as marketing campaigns running at an industrial or enterprise level. For instance, by exploring the available options and viewing the poster section, it becomes evident how this applies. These posters, whether created for a social media figure or for a page uploading hundreds of images daily, rely on this. In such cases, daily prompt input is essential, and automated generation through batch processing becomes necessary. Here's the refined version of the 6 chunk, edited to match your instructions. Sentence structure preserved, restricted words removed, phrasing improved, and overall flow made smooth and professional. Next, another feature to explore is how to add intricate details within images. This involves understanding the level of complexity that can be incorporated. To do that, a detailed prompt will be written using JRPT. For example, a prompt can be requested such as, create a detailed and complex prompt focusing on subtle attention to detail for any given topic. In response, a complete prompt is generated. One such example might be, let a narrow cobblestone lie just after sunset, dimly lit by the warm amber street. This entire option is now available. This will be copied. Once copied, it will be taken into the Ideogram platform. There, the layout will be adjusted to a horizontal orientation. The latest model will be selected and 4 images will be generated. The appropriate style will be applied by selecting the Detail category, and style will be auto-selected. In addition, a negative prompt will be included. This helps by specifying all the elements that are not desired in the final output. Now there's a negative prompt, it will be copied. After copying, it will be pasted here, and then the Generate button will be clicked. It may take a little time since a high-end image is being generated. Still, the time required is similar to regular generation since no complex options have been added. Now this image, with the full set of options, has been generated instantly. Additionally, by opening any image, it appears to be completely created. To examine the fine details of this image, it will be downloaded directly from here. After downloading, it can be checked immediately to confirm the clarity. Even the same words have appeared as expected. A scenario is presented here, including the cat. Along with the cat, the bicycle tires and the shadow of the bulb are also visible. There's greenery present as well. Alongside the greenery, the shadows of the bulb are noticeable. Normally, such details are refined by AI, but in this case, that does not apply. It can be used directly within a well-structured format or a complete setting. The magic prompt applied here was quite extensive. A negative prompt is also present. These can be utilized as needed. If there's a need to add even more, then additional seeds will be included. From there, the image will be generated with maximum efficiency. Regarding the builder, observe the results delivered. A complete app has been developed. It is ready to be used. By switching to responsive mode, or full-frame responsive view, it becomes clear that the app shown in the image is exactly what has been provided here. For instance, when comparing this image with the other one, the design includes a patient overview. After the patient overview, the same patient's current details are shown. Examining the content inside and then observing how the list has been constructed, it mirrors the structure precisely. Here is the refined version of your transcript, following all your instructions strictly. Word count maintained, structure preserved, awkward phrasing and pronunciation errors addressed, and restricted words avoided. At the bottom, there are options for home, appointment, messages, and profile. This demonstrates that, in very little time, with just a single line and inspired by an ideogram, it can be applied directly within code or a functional setup. Looking at the actual code, all necessary files are available here, which can be executed and used by creating a repository. However, that is not the focus at the moment. This idea was only intended for the Canvas-related example. To explain further, in the context of web coding, this aligns with current trends. For inspiration in web design, for instance, visiting this website called Bold, once signed in, it prompts for an idea. Alongside that, it also provides the option to upload files. What should be done next? Simply navigate to generate, and as mentioned, a detailed prompt will be provided, requesting a clean, modern, visually appealing homepage designed for an artisan pizza shop named Inferno Slice. Now this will be used here. Slices and all other elements have already been added. The color palette can also be applied in this case. These options will be removed, as they belong to the previous prompt. A color selection option is available here, but the preference is to let the colors be selected automatically. What happens now is that the required inspiration to build a complete website can be gathered directly from this point. Even if the same prompt is given to another tool, it tends to generate a distorted image with less efficiency in output. Here, different websites are shown as available options. Selecting any one of them, for example, this one, reveals that the design is fully provided. Moving on to the next, that one also delivers a complete design based on the prompt given. If the same thing is attempted using ChatGPT, a simple input will be provided at this point, and the instruction will be to create an image. What happens is that instead of producing a high-quality image, it generates one of very low quality. These two tools represent entirely different approaches. To draw proper inspiration, the most suitable tool available should be chosen. Looking at this, it can also serve as a fully functional, sleek, and minimal website. It may be used as a reference within a web project. By applying it here, improved cost effectiveness can also be achieved. Now, observe that an image representing the website has been generated. The image is now available. However, upon reviewing the content, it becomes apparent that no header has been included, nor has a footer been provided. Suppose it is downloaded. Then in the downloaded version, the content becomes more visible. Yes, the image is present and the required layout has been generated. But a proper header for the website is missing. Along with the header, if the focus shifts to the footer, there is also a text-related issue present. In this case, spelling errors can be seen clearly. As a result, an unusual and slightly distorted website layout has been produced. However, looking at this version, the header and footer have been included. Alongside those, elements like the search bar and other components are also present. What this shows is that the tool being used here is capable of accurately replicating all these components. This can be applied effectively for practical benefit. The next step involves performing a comparison. As seen here, among the more advanced tools, ChatGPT didn't perform well in the initial test. A prompt was provided, but the result was a very dull image. The next approach involves trying the Ideogram tool, considered a primary model, along with an image sourced from Google. This is something also supported by Google's available tools. This model can be used. There is minimal difference between this model and the Ideogram, as it includes an image feature that allows high-quality images to be generated directly. Now what would be done here is a comparison between both. The prompt will be entered, and it's noticeable that a limit is present, so only those words will be used within that boundary, and the same will be added directly here. Two paragraphs of content are available. The image titled Image 1 will be selected. Image 1 is accessible. It should be mentioned that this model is included in the Pro subscription. Otherwise, only a limited number of images can be created. Still, it can be directly utilized. The next step will be to generate it. It will also be added here, and a check will be done to determine which images turn out better. At this point, the images have been generated. It required a bit of time to run. A helpful tip provided is to ask Demind to refine the image. This is the image that has been generated. The image could ideally contain more detail to begin forming an impression of whether it holds value or not, or if there are numerous questions about it. It is also downloadable. Its size can be compared with another example. This tool provides a distinct advantage. Instead of using another option, having this image makes it much clearer how everything functions smoothly. The key difference here is something that's been highlighted from the beginning. When viewing these images, the text shown here, if attempted in another tool, is typically not present. However, by understanding how this specific tool operates, it becomes evident that the phrase "specially squeezed pomegranate juice" with accurate spelling is displayed. Even the font is maintained, and along with that, the content flow is clearly visible. This confirms that it is a reliable tool. It has successfully produced 4 images and included a magic prompt. In addition to the detailed prompt, models and other components have been added. This serves as a full walkthrough of how the Ideogram functions. It's worth considering, especially when comparing it to any competing tools available in the market. Leonardo will now be introduced. Here's a look at the overview of Leonardo. When evaluating the pricing structure of Ideogram, the next step is to proceed to the Manage Subscription section. A side-by-side comparison offers a clearer picture. In that comparison, the free version is not entirely commendable. The Apprentice plan includes a $10 cost and provides 85,000 tokens. Meanwhile, another plan offers $8 and 400 tokens. However, the criteria here differ, as the images are used with lower frequency. Examining the design aspect, especially in relation to camera visuals and photography style, one major challenge arises. This platform can serve as a comprehensive AI hub. It supports video creation, photography, and includes access to 3 models. These cover all content types, including video production and upscaling features. Still, it's important to remember that this remains a tool designed for specific creative tasks. This is strictly designed for image generation. It hasn't been mentioned that it supports animation, cartoons, or is specialized in other categories. This tool is solely focused on generating images, high-end quality visuals. It can be utilized to streamline total expenses and convert pricing into more cost-effective results. Even if certain products seem unaffordable, credits can be purchased directly. Typically, the cost is around $4 for a single creation. Regarding the credit system, 4 images can be generated, and each one consumes 2 credits. If a single image is generated with all features like color and related enhancements turned on, the cost comes to approximately $0.5 per image. With accurate calculation, 150 credits are capable of producing 300 images for just $4. Such value is not found in other tools currently available in the market. Even when attempting to generate a sample image using Leonardo, with a single click, the same prompt will be added. It becomes clear that each image costs 40 credits, which means that the available 50 credits will decrease to 8,500 credits. In comparison, Ideogram allows the creation of 300 images for just $4, all meeting high-quality standards. In the case of Jonesy, whether using the square format or a custom version, the pricing remains consistent. Even when switching models, some may have higher pricing, but this one is the most recent release. In this version, 150 credits allow the creation of 300 images. That's why this stands out as the most cost-effective tool currently accessible. A wide range of creative possibilities can be explored through it. Hopefully, the content has been valuable. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to stay informed about future updates.